Like, why are you defining yourself based on how you look?
So I guess, Selina, can you recall any times that you've experienced what you would call pretty privilege?
The awkward question. Look, I don't know if it's down to pretty privilege, but...
Okay, let me scratch that. Let me just give people some examples of where I think you've experienced pretty privilege while I was there. So, for example, when we went on holiday to Rome, this was back in the day, and basically we were just in a restaurant, and like there were 3 guys in the restaurant, and everybody else was out of the restaurant, right? So there were 3 staff in the restaurant, and basically we got our meal and everything, and they kind of kept looking over, and it wasn't me, okay? It wasn't me. And then they gave us like shots. Luckily they included me, thank you, for that. I'll take my shot then. I mean, they gave us free shots. So to me, that was because obviously they were attracted to you. And when you're attracted to someone, you keep looking. It was that, in my opinion. Do you remember?
I remember.
Yeah, so do you think that's a good example?
I think it is. I mean, generally, just... yeah.
Yes.
Let me not try and explain it away.
Yeah. No, don't.
Because it reminds me of other things, like I've gotten free coffees before and it's always from the male baristas, and you insist on paying and they won't take it.
There was a female barista that gave you...
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Selina's got all the flipping checkerboards on the bingo board covered, mate. Yeah, so male and female, yeah, for sure.
But she was a lot nicer about it, and less in like, I don't know, more cute with it. Less like prowly.
Well, like I said, you're not going to have that kind of threat in the back of your mind.
Maybe that's why I'm already on edge.
If a guy is doing it, yeah. And then I remember in Central London, a guy did a love heart in your, but that wasn't. Did he upgrade you? Did he upgrade your drink in that coffee?
Yeah, I got a love heart and a bigger coffee, I think.
Yeah. Didn't show no employee badge. No, I don't know why you're smiling. Anyway, and I remember you were in a airport with me as well, and they gave you like a free pastry. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, what airport was that? Anyway, yeah, they gave you like a free pastry, but I just whatever Selena's doing, I just get the crumbs.
No.
So yeah, obviously it's it's clear examples, but yeah, respect everybody, especially when it comes to men that say they're feminists. Respect every woman, not just the women that you're attracted to. Some of the women will be douchebags because all humans are douchebags, right? But at minimum, give people respect. Don't kind of increase it or decrease it depending on how they look. But more fool those people that look at Selina or women that look at me or whoever, and they assume a lot. More fool them if they assume a lot looking at somebody, because we're all complex beings at the end of the day.
Just all humans, and yeah, it's strange. I've just remembered another example. Actually, I remember I was traveling with my dad. We were at the airport, and long story short, I needed to buy a coat. I'd left my coat at home. Just don't ask me how, it's just typical Selina. But needed to buy a coat. So at the airport you're limited with shops, right? And I remember the shop, it was super dry. And I was like, oh my god, and I was like, oh, super dry, I don't really shop in this store because I have the perception of it being very expensive.
Yeah.
So I went in, managed to find a coat that was on sale, wasn't too much, because obviously this is unplanned, right? So I go to the till, buying it, and there's this guy, tall London boy, and he was basically just trying to have a conversation, and it was just a normal conversation. How are you? Where are you from? Are you traveling to? Da, 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 da. And then he started asking other questions like, do you live here? And what's your name? And all that kind of stuff.
He played it well.
So then it's like, that's when your back starts, you're like, oh, okay, this is a bit, and then I was like, just trying to, laugh it off sort of thing and just pay for the coat. And then I was like, oh, it's cheaper. And he's like, oh yeah, I knocked 30% off for you. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, this guy thinks that 30% is going to make me give him my number. And obviously I was with you at that point, so I'm not giving anyone my number. So I was just like, you don't have to, just charge me full price, please, because I don't want to like...
So you didn't take the discount?
Well, I pushed back and I was like, no. And he's like, oh, I've already put it through now. And I was like, and then he's like, don't worry, you don't need to give me your number, just enjoy. And so it was really weird because you kind of caught in this weird limbo of don't give me the discount because I don't want you to like have expectations that I'm not going to meet. And obviously I was in a shop, so it's less threatening than like a club or nighttime or an alley, or you know, it's not extreme.
Yeah. So
but I still felt bad, and he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess those with power, they might open certain doors. So he had the power to give discounts to anyone, technically speaking, but he just afforded it to you, a complete stranger.
And maybe it's because I was nice to him and I was talking to him.
I mean, we don't believe that. Like me and the people at home, you might believe that, but no, it's not about having a conversation. I mean, I've worked in retail. It's not about that. Yeah. So do you feel like that was the biggest pretty privileged discount that you've had? So I suppose that's equivalent to what, 30 quid?
I mean, numerically.
In one go.
In one go, yeah. Because usually it's just like a drink or something. And to be honest, the only free drinks I've accepted have either been like in a coffee shop or with you.
It's not about you.
In a club, I would never accept a drink from a guy, just because this is my view. I feel like if a guy buys you a drink at a club, then there's some sort of expectation behind it, whether it's a dance or what. I don't want to feel cornered to someone's or bound to someone's expectations of
your little £3.50 rum and
exactly.
Coke.
I will buy my own drink, thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk about clubbing in another episode.
Paris's favourite topic.
Yeah, I guess one of many. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not so much about your reaction, because you're kind of put into the situation by people affording you pretty privilege, and you know, from what you've done and said, I don't think anybody would do anything much different. But let us know at home if you have ever had, you know, these situations where people are giving you freebies or preferential treatment, male or female. I do think it tends to happen to females more, but the flip side is obviously the harassment side of things, and you know, the expectation side of things. You know, whereas guys, I don't really getting called in the street and stuff, not in a kind of a sexual way anyway, you know, not in the same way as women.
But it's like things like that, they're small, right? A little drink here and there, or a little discount. I don't agree with it, but it's small. The thing that I really would get pissed off with is if someone was being promoted because they're pretty, not off of merit or hard work, or if someone was getting a grade from a teacher just because. Do you know what I mean? Like things that actually carry weight, where other people are working hard and then you just get a leg up because you're pretty or whatnot. Yeah. That's what I don't agree with at all. Yeah,
and it happens. It's not a meritocracy that we live in, basically. There's one message that I never got told in school. It's, you know, it's that. It's not a meritocracy that we live in. Some people have inherited advantages and they will get ahead because of them, especially if they're aware of them and willing to capitalize.
Yeah.
Because this is capitalism. You got to capitalize on stuff. You know, winners and losers. And some people will just do anything to win. Some, not everybody.
Another example of pretty privilege, which is a bit dark, but even if you go back to slavery, right? Look, being a slave is a horrible thing, and there is no aspect of slavery that is positive or that is a privilege. I just want to say that outright. But even within such a disgusting aspect of humanity, people manage to bring elements of beauty and pretty privilege into that concept. So there was a thing where house slaves were separate to field slaves, and the house slaves, particularly female ones, were always seen as being a bit lighter skinned or prettier, or potentially a result of rape between a master and a previous slave. So even within that sector, there was some sort of pretty privilege, which I think is so horrific, you know.
But you're in an untenable situation. It's written into law that you are going to be in bondage to another human being. Slavery was a brutal experience. So I guess anybody that was afforded the right to be in the house, I can't blame them for taking it.
Oh no, you never. I'm not blaming anyone
and I'm
at
not
all.
saying
But
you're blaming. I'm not saying you're blaming at all. But you know, you obviously afforded privileges, and I guess that ties into society in terms of colorism and lighter skin is better.
That's what I'm saying. It's not mutually exclusive. You know, there are other layers to this whole pretty privilege, but it's quite shocking that even in that society it existed.
Well, apparently it existed in the Holocaust too. Like some women could get favours from some of these, you know, concentration camp guards. But again, a very desperate situation.
Very desperate.
So you know, death is just 1 second away. So I don't think. You know,
you're gonna do what you need to do to survive.
If that's a factor that's going to keep you from dying in some situations, then yeah, you know, so be it. So yeah, I guess in terms of how, you know, prettiness factored into our relationship, or in terms of my like first impression of Selina, like in my opinion, Selina was objectively attractive, physically, and that was kind of an assessment that I'd made.
Assessment, okay.
Yeah.
Very scientific.
Got an A. And you know, but it wasn't something that overwhelmed me. It's just like, oh, this person's attractive, you know, hopefully I get to talk to them. And then, but it was really, your personality that kind of maintains the connection and like gives you something to grow off of, you know. And as I say, it's all about someone that can make you feel relaxed, because there's enough hurdles in life anyway, you know. And I feel like if you're basing your relationship on anxiety, aka, wow, she was this golden woman and I just didn't know what to say, and I had to get my pickup lines ready, or I had to spend £300, I only had £250, but I went into overdraft to try and get her, you know. I just don't think that's the best start. That's what I'm trying to say. You're trying to take off into this relationship, then it's a bit of anxiety there, you know. And maybe that's part of the reason why the traditional first dates kind of setting, I think it can be high pressured and throw people off. It throws you right off, you know.
100%. Well, that's another aspect of, I don't know if it's just pretty privilege, but as a male, I do think there is pressure to spend on a first date because you're taking a woman out, and you know, it ties back to that whole thing of men being providers and women being, you know, the trophy, and it's a bit weird. But yeah, spending £300 on a first date is a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot of money, but you know, only if you can't afford it at the end of the day.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, you know, we've got to try, and I guess my overall, you know, message about this is we've got to try and detach the anxiety out of dating and meeting people, because I think that, you know, it's just one of those experiences that you kind of grow through, and sometimes you grow through meeting other people and the interactions you have. So try and enjoy that as much as possible. Don't try and hedge so many bets on, I need to get a rich man, or I need to get a pretty girl. You know, just flow. And the person that rejected you like nothing, the next person will appreciate you and give you an opportunity. 100%, you know. Definitely. So that's what I think for sure. Try and detach the anxiety from it. Easier said than done. Yeah. Especially when you're like, you know, you're single.
Well, everyone's human at the end of the day, you know, like I know it takes courage to talk to someone you don't know, 100% it does, but everyone is human, and one human isn't better than the other for whatever reason, whether it's how they look or how much money they have or what school they went to. We are all just human beings, so maybe that helps put it in perspective a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the amount of men as well that have kind of fallen in love with Selina, you know, within like 2 minutes, you know, of meeting her. And I'll be there too. I'll be present, you know, while they're falling in love.
I don't think it's love. I think it's the other L word. It's so annoying.
And I'll be like kind of faded out next to Selina, and all they can see is Selina.
No, you're not faded out if I'm like right next to you holding your arm.
I'm just saying, I see these things as a guy. We see and notice these things.
Oh, well, they can be doing their in the background. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, that, you know, this is.
And there've been girls that fallen in love with him as well. Don't even start,
I'm just saying,
man.
yeah, but it's not as obvious. But it just lends itself to, you know, the privilege. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, all they're seeing is the trailer. They're not seeing no credits. They don't care who made you, who you are, how you are. All they care about is the trailer, you know, and they just want to see the film, you know, and they don't understand there's a co-star. Do you know what I mean? There's a talent agent who spotted.
Oh yeah.
Spotted her first.
Talent agent. Oh my god.
What can I say? You know, but it does lend itself to the idea that men are more visual creatures, and then if in a patriarchy men have the power, then what you're seeing is them affording power.
I think women can be just as visual, and everything you've said, like, you know, I can see when other girls like you and, you know, are looking at you, and it happens both ways. It's not just one way. Maybe men are more overt with it, but women definitely do it too. So women are visual as well. Women will say, or be, you know, having little chats with their friends, trust me. And it's just human nature. You're gonna say, oh, if someone's good looking or if someone is, you are.
Yeah, you know, I definitely agree. I guess some of this will probably end up in the clubbing section, you know, when we talk about that. I was going to say something else. I mean, apparently women get, you know, lighter jail sentences. I wonder if...
Yeah, that's something I read about as well.
Yeah.
Or they don't even get a jail, like they'll just be let off.
Well, we watched that film Hustlers, didn't we? And apparently it's based on a true story where these strippers hustle these men. And none of them got actual prison time. And you know, I don't know if it was about their looks or more their gender. I'm not sure, maybe a mix. But for what there was an economical loss, you know. But then I guess what society says is, if you keep hanging around a fly trap, I don't feel sorry for you if you get caught in it. Do you know what I mean? What you doing in a strip club should be in a church. That's how society kind of works.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, that's Love Uncut, people. So pretty privilege. It's a thing.
Yeah, it exists, definitely exists. But I think you can't just look at it in a vacuum. There are, you know, other aspects of being seen as pretty or beautiful as well that maybe aren't as much of a privilege. I think my take on it is, it kind of sucks that it exists. I really wish people focus more on their character, whether it's how they present themselves or how other people see them. I really wish we all focused on people's characters a bit more versus how people look. You can't judge someone based on how they look. It's so annoying.
I'm just saying, yeah, you're going to judge people by how they look, then more fool you. You know, you're always going to be 2 steps behind. So, you know, call it how you want, play it how you want. So yeah, it's a thing, but wouldn't necessarily say it's a good thing. It's just a reality.
I think it's good also to remember why it's a thing. I think we're all, as I said, from being kids. Sorry, I'm looking down, pretending a kid. We all grow. We all grow up with this norm of, oh, this person's really pretty and they're really handsome and da da da. Like, it's fine to acknowledge that, but don't put so much pressure and value and worth on it, you know. And maybe,
trust me, yeah,
people who have kids focus a bit more on, oh, this person was so kind, or that person is so helpful, you know, like on the positive characteristics that your kids should focus on and embody, as opposed to, you know, always wanting to go and put on makeup to look like, I don't know, he's a
person X.
Exactly.
I agree. And you know, at the end of the day, looks do fade as well. So, you know, you don't want to be that person that's always been put on a pedestal, because anybody that can put you on a pedestal can take you off. You know, when they get the newer model, if you want to commodify yourself, if you want to really call yourself, if you really want to call yourself a Barbie or whatever you want to call yourself. So you better keep drinking water, work on bettering yourself. You don't have to be perfect, but I'm just saying, you know, wicked thoughts do show up on the face as well. And remember, you know, that you are gonna, you know, you can age well, but you are gonna get older. So don't bet everything on it.
Yeah, there's always someone younger, more beautiful, with, you know, perkier bum. Sorry.
I don't know what's so funny about a perky bum.
I don't know why.
Such a Marge, isn't she? Marge Simpson. Right, people. So yeah, now we're really gonna go. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Indeed.
This has been Love Uncut. So we'll be back next week, Sunday at 6 o'clock with another topic. Definitely don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe.
Take care, guys.
Peace, guys.
Thanks for watching.